Hi, I'm Bryn Blaze with the Career Conversations podcast, and today I am here with
Wendilee Gervasi.
Awesome. Can you describe yourself in 3 to 5 words on who you were as a high school person?
Very quiet, reserved, and extremely shy.
Is that reflected on who you are today, do you feel? Or do you think you've grown?
So my career is sales. So I'm a sales engineer. And actually, a lot of people think that if you're in sales, you're an extrovert.
Okay.
That's not true. I'm actually an introvert.
I see.
So does that reflect who I am today? I think for who I am today, I'm still shy and reserved. But I know when to, jump over that
Yes.
and not be that way.
Mhm.
Especially if I'm trying to, put somebody at ease
Mhm.
or things like that.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm at a supermarket and I'm just grabbing some groceries, I'll probably stay introvert, but, then, turn to extrovert when I need to.
That's good. That's good. Awesome. Can you share your journey from where you started to where you are today?
So actually, I majored in, when I first got out of high school, I wanted to be a veterinary technician.
Okay.
So I went to college to be a veterinary technician,
Mhm.
and I loved it. It was so much fun. It was a wonderful, wonderful career. I really enjoyed college. Who can sit there and say, you took a class in farm animals
Mhm.
and things like that. So it was phenomenal. I worked in private practice for a veterinary hospital for, I want to say, 3 to 5 years, if I recall correctly.
Mhm.
But then what I found out was, I couldn't become anything more. No matter how good I was at my job, I wasn't going to be able to advance. You were either a technician or you're a veterinarian.
Yeah.
That was it. There was no middle ground. So, and then I realized that the salary wasn't going to change.
Mhm.
So at the time I thought, well, geez, if something were to happen to my husband, um, it would be very difficult to support a family.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd recommend this. So at the time, computers were like booming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went to college and I looked at all the computer degrees and I went, that looks like the easiest one. Okay. So I don't know if I'd recommend that, right? So I decided to take computers, and at the time there was no, internet, there was no Indeed, ZipRecruiter, or anything like that. So there was a job board, and you would go by the bulletin board and look at different jobs. So there was this job for a sales assistant for a telecommunications company.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, I'll interview for that. So I sat down in the middle of the interview, and the manager says, oh, how do you feel about sales? And I looked point blank at him and I went, that sounds amazing. Lied right through my teeth. Right. And all I thought was, oh, if they put me into sales, I'll completely quit. 25 years later.
I am.
Yep. So what they saw and what I didn't see in myself at the time was they saw that I was somebody cut out for sales. Now, as a kid in high school, I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to go into sales, right? I don't know if many kids think that, right?
Yeah.
And so I was very fortunate, and the managers that I did have saw the potential in me. And then they looked at me and they said, okay, you're no longer going to be a sales assistant. You're going to go into sales. And I was like, oh my gosh. And, I was nervous, but their faith in me, I was like, well, they must know something, right? So it's like, oh, well, will you train me? Sure. Okay. No, not at all.
Yeah, no. Of course.
So that's kind of how I landed. And then from that job, it was in telecommunications. And then where I work now, that opportunity opened up. So I wanted to advance my sales career. So that's when I transitioned to a different corporation.
Oh, that's very impressive, actually.
Isn't that weird?
That's an interesting journey. Like, I was talking with Dad, right?
Yeah.
And he has a person who works for him who started out in archaeology and now he's IT. Like, it's crazy the transition you can go.
The vice president where I used to work, his degree was in Parks and Recreation.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And that was sales. You work for a global company. What teamwork do you do with people from other countries?
So in sales, how that works is, let's say I'm selling to a corporation that is actually global. Global is a lot of fun because there's a lot of challenges to that, right? So I get to talk to my counterpart in a different country on, hey, this company, which is headquartered here in the US, wants to do something for their out of country facility.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun because you can talk to my, who I am in a different country.
Yeah.
You get to learn their different cultures and the way they handle business. And it is just, it's something different for the day.
Yeah.
Right. So I really enjoy going globally. Have I ever traveled globally? No.
No.
I would like to.
I was going to ask. What would be the one place you want to go to?
Austria.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What has been your favorite experience working overseas?
I don't work overseas.
Or, well, like, with companies that are overseas.
So how it works is I work with my own company overseas. I think it's just the community, right?
Okay.
So if if I call my counterpart in a different country, it's very cool because our days are somewhat the same.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting that even though you're in different countries, our complaints are the same, our fun is the same. So it's really interesting that you would think it'd be completely different.
Yeah.
Really. It's kind of like, oh, geez, how are you guys doing on getting this material or this? It's interesting that, it's a big world, but it's still the same day, that you're all having. So that's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your day-to-day then? I'm sure it varies, but...
Well, so, I always tell everybody, sales is kind of like being a personal shopper for your friends, but in whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? So... like you like digital and marketing and media and things like that. So if you were a salesperson in that digital marketing media world, then you would pretty much, somebody might say, oh, well, hey, what's the best camera or microphone or, well, you're just going to personally shop for them. Hey, here are my recommendations.
Yeah. And
usually the people that you're shopping for are your friends that you've worked with for years. So that's why I tell everybody that's pretty much what sales is being a personal shopper for your friends, right?
That's so cool. You get the high of shopping, other people buy it.
Yeah, for the most part.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what's your favorite part about working in the position that you do?
Don't tell them this, my customers.
Okay.
It's, you know what? I think it's because I'm always astounded at the belief that my customers have in me and the company that they do, and the trust that they put into me to deliver what they need to on time. And then they'll, and then just the experiences you have with them.
Yeah.
Right. Or the memories that you make with your customers, whether it's a conversation over lunch or networking or, just knowing their families and things like that. So it's my customers. Just don't tell them that.
No. Okay, and going along with that, what's your least favorite part of this career?
Everybody says that sales isn't like an 8-to-5 job, and that is somewhat true, right? And I don't want to say it's my least favorite, but when it comes time to, just turn it off, you can't.
Yeah.
So your phone might ring at 6:00 because there's an emergency in my field where, hey, I can't source this, or I need this, or my phone might ring at 7 a.m. Right. So your day is an 8-to-5.
Yeah.
And so sometimes that is a little bit difficult in the sense that you're always thinking, you're always selling, you're always,
yeah.
At one point I had one of my friends say, Wendy, you're always selling me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So you got to know kind of when to turn it off. Yeah.
I hear that. So for listeners who maybe don't want to get a college degree and want to go straight into the workforce, do you think you could do this job without any education background?
Last I knew, there was no degree for sales.
Okay.
Right.
Perfect.
I think there may be one now, but if it's not like you can go to college and, I'll take the Sales 101 course. Yeah. That's not there. So in essence, to be a salesperson, no, but a lot of companies want you to have a degree of some sort. I think that's a little difficult at times because some of the best salespeople that I know don't have a degree.
Yeah.
And like we were saying, they don't even have a degree in what you're selling.
Exactly.
Right? Because what is selling? It's creating relationships.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily, knowing, the ins and outs of what you're selling. It's to be able to say, oh, Bryn, you ordered that today?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to follow up with it. I'm going to get you the best price. I'm going to do this.
Hmm.
That doesn't necessarily take a degree. It just means that I have to care about you and, what you're looking for.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So as far as somebody getting into sales, I think that usually starts with, usually, yeah. Actually, they say the best salespeople start as waiters or waitresses, as servers. That's pretty much true. But I think just working with the public in general, and then you would probably go to customer service, then inside sales and outside sales.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay. So do you have to do any certifications or not really?
Not in the sales that I do.
Okay.
I don't know if other sales as in general, they may want you to have some certification depending on what you're selling.
Okay.
Possibly.
Okay.
But I don't know as a generalization that I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone with a high school diploma could just walk right in sales, climb the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Usually they start salespeople in the warehouse because they want you to understand all of the aspects of the company and growing up through a company.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you think about it, I cannot do my job without those people in the warehouse, without those people making the widgets.
Mm-hmm.
So they are just as a critical part of my team as my executive leadership, right? So I need all aspects of the company to be on board with me.
Yeah.
Then if not, I don't have anything to sell.
Exactly.
So I need everybody in the company.
Awesome.
Everybody.
I love that. Would you consider this a male-dominated field as a woman?
Oh, that I'm in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just the particular sales that I'm in. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
However, I've never felt that way.
Good. Okay.
Only because, my dad worked in construction.
Yes.
So my dad always told me no matter what,
mm-hmm.
I had to carry myself well, and I'll have to prove myself to everybody.
Yeah.
So for me, I never really felt that, I'm in a male-dominated field as a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't matter who I'm sitting across. I have to prove myself to them.
Yes.
So, and then if you take a look at my mom taught me when I was younger, she said, always, be different.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be the same. And I think what she was trying to teach me was that, if there's a bunch of girls, call it being mean.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I could choose to be different and say, hey, I'm not going to be mean with you.
Yeah.
Or, just, you don't have to be the same all the time. You can choose to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So between my mom and my dad, I guess I never looked at it that way. I only looked at it as I wanted to make my mom and dad proud of who I was.
Yes.
Right? So
I get you on that. So speaking quite blankly, you don't feel like you experience any discrimination for who you are?
Not really.
Okay.
It's funny because my niece, she wanted me to talk to one of her clubs. It was Women in Business.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, again, my dad was, so critical, growing up in construction, around the dinner table, he would talk about what happened during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess I've never thought of those in that situation of, oh, well, how do I conduct myself differently as a woman in a male dominated field? I don't, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, it's probably a bad answer for you, right?
I need your honest answer. This is people need to hear what they need to hear. And everyone's story's different, right?
But no, I've always had wonderful respect from the company I work for.
That's amazing.
I've had wonderful respect from the customers.
Mm-hmm.
Have there been, situations where, it's been uncomfortable? Yeah, but I think that's in any
workplace.
Yeah, any workplace. So I wish I had more for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again, I just go back to, my dad. You're gonna have to prove yourself to whoever.
Yeah.
Right. And then my mom, it's okay to be different. So I guess I just never thought of it that way.
That's really good. I'm glad that we're progressing in that direction, where there's not really the concept of male-dominated fields. It's becoming more 50-50 in STEM-related
Well,
activities.
and I think too, for the company that I work for, it doesn't matter. You don't know if the leader in that room is going to be male or female.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't feel that it's. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But not where I am. So I think that's good.
That's cool. I think that's awesome. Looking back, is there anything you wish someone told you before coming into this field?
Yeah, I think I did not move as quickly as I should have, right? I stayed in one role too long.
Yeah.
And I wish I had gotten and challenged myself to get out of that role. But I think it depends on who you are too.
Yeah.
Right? And where you're at and what season you're at in your life. But for me, I felt that if I stayed in a role long enough, somebody would recognize my accomplishments.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's maybe not true, right?
Yeah.
So I think that you should set yourself a certain time limit of, I'm going to take this role for so long. And then once you've exhausted the challenges of that role, go to another one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I wish I hadn't hung out as long as I did.
Yeah. I see. Okay. Yeah. And then going along with that, what advice would you have for someone coming into this career field?
Oh, geez. It's a ball. It's a lot of fun. Usually in sales, there is a community, right? And everybody knows everybody, and hopefully it's a good supportive community. Yeah. It should be, your achievements should be celebrated, right? Yeah. And if you're having a rough day, there should be somebody that can go, yeah, so am I. So I think it's a wonderful experience because you have no idea what your day is going to be. Yeah. And I would just say to learn from other salespeople, because again, there is no degree. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
I see. So. And then my last question for you is, do you have any academic or non-academic sources that you use to help you with your job?
Yep, other people. Okay. So, and I know, I know so many people, and including myself, are used to, hey, Google, or, and you're looking for the podcast, you're looking for, what ChatGPT has to say. But if you look at sales, right, you can learn how to do sales from pretty much anybody, right? Yeah. You could be in the grocery store and you'll notice that maybe, the person checking you out has, just a really, excellent way to say, hey, how's your day going? Yeah. Or they have, maybe they've complimented you or something that they've done. So you can learn pretty much sales from anybody. Yeah. Or you're, so sales is a person-to-person learned. Yeah. Not necessarily book or ChatGPT or... So I really like that aspect of it. Yeah, and you're learning from other people who've done sales. And you're picking their cool parts. You're getting rid of the crappy parts. Yeah. And so you manipulate it all.
That's awesome. Yeah. That is awesome. Is there anything else you want to add or say to the listeners?
I think for my advice for people in high school, or even if you're, depending on when you guys start looking at colleges and things like that, just keep an open mind. Like, I didn't think I would ever go in sales.
Exactly.
And the opportunities and the crazy things that I've done because of sales are very humbling. Yeah. And I've had opportunities that people will never have, just with experiences and things like that. So I think if somebody says to you, hey, I see this in you, take that from them and maybe walk through that door. Yeah. Right? Or, try it or see what's going to happen, because I think even as I talk to people, the way they've gotten to where they've gotten, it's not it's not, oh, okay, I graduate from high school, I go to here and I go to here and I go here. It's not like that. It goes like this,
Yeah, you never know. You never know. That is awesome.
So yeah, it's not a linear line for sure.
Yeah. It's really rare that ends up happening.
I always thought it did, but
yeah,
it doesn't. So yeah, so if somebody sees something new, definitely explore it, and you know.
Sometimes you need an outsider perspective to put you on a trajectory.
Yeah, I know when I was going for my veterinary science degree, I was only planning on going to college for 2 years. That's all I felt I needed. So this professor made me write this letter to myself on why I felt I was never going to go for any more education. Okay, now that was my first veterinary technician degree, and I was like, this is so dumb. I don't know why I have to write this. And I look back now, and I would love to read that letter to see, what a little snot I was at 19 years old.
Oh my God.
And the professor was like, you don't understand, you have so much more than what I believe. You should go for more.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And then I ended up going for another associate's and another bachelor's degree. Right. So she was right. Yeah. But to my snotty 19-year-old self, I'm like, this is the dumbest letter.
Oh my God.
But I wish I could read that. But I think, trust in other people, what they're giving you, because they can see that. And like I said, I am so thankful for those, those managers who saw when you should go into sales.
Yeah.
Sales. That's what my 18-year-old self is saying.
Nobody for long.
Nobody wants to go into sales.
Oh my gosh. That is really cool. Yeah. I really enjoyed talking with you. This was pretty interesting to hear about. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
That'll conclude this Weird Conversation podcast.